Greetings to you. You know that I'm a lover of the hearts, right? I'm in love with the hearts. I like the color, I like the shape, and I want to see a lot of hearts. Pretend that today is Valentine and you're sending me lots and lots of love. So every time you click that like button, and if you have not yet subscribed to the channel, let us hit 10,000 subscriber by the end of this broadcast. If you are not yet a subscriber to this channel, the Uncensored Guyana show, by the time you have completed viewing the program, click subscribe. I know a lot of you tune in to the show because of curiosity. You want to know what this guy has to say. You are now coming across this guy, me, for the first time. You heard about me. You've seen me around. You decided, let me see what he has to say. I heard he likes to cuss. I heard he swears a lot. I heard he's very vulgar. I heard that he likes to disrespect women. I heard that he is a racist. I heard that he is a stooge for the PPP. An air finite. Let me see for myself. Let me hear for myself. So I'm going to stick around and hear what he has to say. And if the first 10 minutes of the show, I like what I hear, maybe I'll stick around for the rest of the show. And if by the end of the show, I don't think he's an asshole, you know what? Maybe I'll do something special for him. Maybe I'll make him feel important, even though he would not know directly that I have subscribed. I'll just subscribe. Because after all, what am I doing on YouTube? Why do I have a Google account if it's not to subscribe to people I listen to, even though I don't like them, even though I hate their looks, I hate the sound of their voice? They're saying some stuff I want to hear. So let me subscribe to the channel. If you are any of those persons, or you genuinely, sincerely, not a racist, not a bigot, you have no reason to hate me because you don't know me, you just want to let me subscribe. What do I have to lose? It's not like sending the guy money. It's not like my neighbors are going to see that I subscribe to the guy channel. It's private, it's personal. Okay, I'll subscribe. Let the numbers climb. Let us give him 10, 20, 30, 40, 50,000, 100,000, 500,000 subscribers. You see how I present it? You see how simple it sounds? How uncomplicated it is? Exactly. But when you put emotions to things, who do I think he is? I don't have time for this shit. Subscribe to who? To who? That racist? That black man? That fake Indian? I don't have time for that nonsense. That lowlife, I ain't subscribing to him. I know how humans think. I'm a psychologist, a sociologist. I know how people think. So I'm telling you, I know exactly how a lot of you watching me, how you're thinking. how you are viewing me right now, what is going through your mind, the emotions you are entertaining. I know. So I'm saying, I don't care. Neither should you. Just subscribe. That's it. It's as simple as that. See, I just pissed off a lot of you who want to subscribe. You see how this thing works? You see how emotionally unstable a lot of people are? What I've just said there in my monologue, that's a monologue. What I just said there in a monologue, just to tell you to subscribe, I pissed off a lot of you. And in no way you're going to subscribe. In no fucking way. Because what? I'm an asshole. I know that. I know that. But I'm being me. You understand? I'm being honest, transparent, and real. This is just me. I don't beg. You know, there are some people, they come online, they're like, well, if you like the content, if you like what you heard, if you want the channel to grow, the algorithm would understand. Just comment something in the section. Even though you have nothing to say, make something up. Just write something. It could be stupid, nonsense, gibberish. Just write something in the comment section. You know, it's nice. It's good that you support the channel. God is going to bless you. You'll have a miracle. Every person who subscribes, they'll have a check in their bank account when they finish subscribing because God says so. I ain't like that. I'm not going to bullshit you. Okay? I wouldn't do that. Let the other people do that. I don't have time for that. Even if it's one person, I will still do my show. But it's nice if you can subscribe, if you know what I mean. Oh my gosh, I can see the haters now. I can see the haters. Trust me. I can literally see the haters. I wish if Azruddin Mohammed can be as real as the realest thing, the Guyanese critic. Let's put it that way. He says he's the realest thing in the world. Give him that title. The Guyanese world. Give him that title. But it would be good if the Mohammeds can be, not the Mohammeds, the prodigal son, who will never have a chance to return home. Azruddin, fuckface, scrapple-face Mohammed. If he can be as real as the Guyanese critic and admit to his sins, maybe some leniency will come and he would not get the death penalty. Because Guyana don't have the death penalty. Maybe he will just get life in prison. And when he served the first life term in prison in Guyana, he'll go to America and do his time there. Welcome to Uncensored, the Uncensored Guyana show. I am Dr. L. Prasad, and I'm a real doctor. Prince Ali and the President. This is especially for David Hines. David Hines from the PNC. Racist motherfucker David Hines from the PNC, who will not just retire quietly, go off somewhere into the African jungle, join Kunta Kinte somewhere at Mombasa, and just eat with the rest of the apes and see if he can still swing from tree to tree. David Hines, that monkey face, black face nigger, David Hines. I will send you a personal copy, a signed copy of my book, Black Plague. While this is a positive work to liberate the average black man, to free him from the mental slavery of whom you, David Hines, men like you, are the slave masters of the average innocent Afro-Guyanese. You, David Hines, is one of the slave masters that is keeping the innocent, unsuspecting blacks in mental slavery. This book will free not just them, David Hines, but you also. So I would like you to have a copy, a signed copy of my book, Black Plague, I Come in the Name of Hate. Then after that, David Hines, when you finish reading this book and studying this book, I want you to write a paper on this book. Then you can give some evening classes with you and the other thugs, those retired apes that you have on your program from time to time. You can have some bedtime stories reading my book because they're all retired and regret not being a better citizen to the young people that you claim and profess to lead. So David Hines, send me your address if you have one. And I'm going to mail a copy. I'll buy you a copy myself. I'll buy my own book just to donate a copy to you, David Hines, because you are broke. You can't afford to buy a copy of my book. You can't afford it. I'm telling you. Let your daughter, Tabitha Haley, sweetheart, buy a copy of my book for your father. You're not as racist as he is. Donate a copy to him. Reformation is not dependent on your age. Your father can still strive to becoming a first-class citizen. 50 Shades of Black. A journey to a first-class male. You still have a few years left on your calendar, David Hines. You can retire. You can go back to God as a truly reformed PNC man. So after you have Black Plague, this would be your bucket list to transform yourself and the bunch of idiots that you follow and follow you into a first-class male. Achieve 50 Shades of Black. Black, not nigger. Black. It's a pretty thick book. So worthwhile study. If I keep reading from my books, nobody's going to buy them. So I'm not going to read. I just keep showing you the cover. And you go to Amazon.com and you order a copy. I talked to one of the associates of Azruddin Mohammed this morning. The person, when they start speaking, made it clear to me they have no associations with Azruddin himself, but they are a supporter of the executive of WIN. I asked, okay, what can I do for you? They would like to tell me I was on speaker. Maybe at some point you might hear a recording online with my voice. If the recording says what I'm going to say now, then it is authentic. Anything else, it's AI. They were saying to me that something they said before. I need to understand. First of all, they said, Dr. Prasad, I have the greatest respect for you. I admire your work. And despite the fact that we don't agree on everything, you have my support. I'm a fan. I follow your shows. But whenever people are talking about you, I tell them, let the man give his opinion. Let the man see what he has to say. I mean, after all, everybody has make their peace on an issue. So if the guy says whatever, then, so I said, thank you. Now, what can I do for you? Then the person said, all the stuff that you see circulating, coming out of Guyana, most of it is fabricated by people who hate the Mohammeds. I say, okay, go on. Now they're saying, do you think that the government really wants Azruddin to leave the country? Because if the government wants Azruddin to leave the country, they have the tools. All it takes is a signature, and he's gone. They don't have to go through the whole prolonged court system, blah, blah, blah. Just a signature. So I said, from who? Who has to sign whatever document? It says the president. The president just have to sign, and Azruddin is gone. I said, okay, then why isn't he signing? Because Azruddin has evidence against the president, not the whole farm issue. That's just touching the surface. They said Azruddin has evidence, and that's the evidence that is holding back the president from signing whatever document so that Azruddin leaves the country with his father. I say, get to the point. In other words, they said to me today, Azruddin is not going anywhere. He will be around for all the elections that is coming. And based on the circumstances on the ground, Win is going to win most of the local government, the regional seats. And the person said, the next election, Win is going to win the next election. And Azruddin is going to be the next president. I said, okay, I'm listening. What do you want from me? If I can not support Azruddin, but join the Win party. So this is not about Azruddin. This is about the Win party. If I can join the Win party, support the Win party, then we can make a difference. I paused for a moment and I said, can you give me your name so I can follow you, so I can look you up on the internet and, you know, try to see what role you play in the Win party and things like that. So can you give me your name? The person said to me that at another time. But right now, you know, they just want to know where I stand. I was waiting for the money part. I wanted to hear if it's more than 200,000 this time. Because the last time was $200,000. Oh, not Guyana dollars. You think somebody in their fucking wrong mind can come to me and offer me 200,000 Guyana dollars for what? For what? You think they can be that stupid? So I was waiting to hear, okay, let me see if a bigger check is coming this time. They refused to give me the name, who they were. I wasn't recording anybody. I was just on my phone. And so I said, okay. And the number was blocked. Yeah. Was an unknown number. So I couldn't even get that. Then they said, can I call you back in like a few days? And so I said, don't worry, don't waste your time. I said, don't waste your time. I am sure. I said, I am sure 100% that your boss is not going to be around for the next election, which is a few months from now. 100%, I'm sure. So let's go further with this conversation and this discussion. What I need right now is to find out where you got my number from and why you think you can approach me. All you hear is beep, beep, beep. You know, when they hung up the phone, they discontinue the call. So I'll say this to you, Azruddin. Azruddin Mohammed, I'll say this to you. You wouldn't waste your time with all them other half-naked, nasty face, t-shirt wearing. They're on their toilet and they want to do some FaceTime video. There is some fucking somewhere and want to do some FaceTime video cussing out the president, cussing out Jaglio, these ghetto lowlifes. Azruddin, you are not bothering with them because they are scums. They can't raise your value with you associating with them. You can just give them a sweetie money and give them some money to buy some jammy, some marijuana, some fucking crack cocaine, and they're good. You are trying to get the attention or the association with the big guns. In your mind, I'm one of the big guns. In your mind, Azruddin, if you can get me on your side, oh my gosh, possibilities are endless. Nobody has respect for smelly smell. Like I said, they are scum. They are ghetto skunks. Trust me. Not even a security guard, Norman Brown, if he ever finds the right man to make his husband, would ever invite Smelly Smell to his wedding. Not even a skunt like Norman Brown would invite Smelly Smell to his wedding if he does find the right man to be his husband. Because they're not that, they're the type that you feed at the gate. You don't let them come in the main hall. You send your bodyguard, you send your maid to, can you serve Smelly Smell? Look, she's over there with the others. They are the Roshan cans of the Edgel boat. You know, they're the Smelly Smells, they're the Roshan cans. You can go sit with the normal people. Oh, you can't come up here. You're going to contaminate the environment. When you breathe shit. So we don't want you in this air conditioning pod. Go outside, enjoy natural nature. Breathe. You can talk aloud. Let that stench come out your mouth and just fill the air. It can filter. But in here, we have specialized air conditioning system, and you can't be in here. He wants associations with first-class males. Yes, Azruddin. People like me will make you look decent. Yeah. So you're trying all kinds of shit to get my attention. But I'm sorry, Azruddin, that you think I have a price tag. I look to you like a Porsche or a Lamborghini or a Ferrari. I'm not a car. I'm human. I am not available. I will never be available. Azruddin Mohammed, you are an alleged murderer. You are a sanctioned, indicted, and soon to be convicted thief, a robber, a smuggler. That's what you are. You should have lived in a time in the wild, wild west, when the federal system used to send their bounty hunters behind bank robbers, people who don't pay taxes in those times. But you don't read, so you can't read the history of the West. You can't read the history of the West. But you should have been around in those times. And I think you were. I think in a previous life, Azruddin, you were a bank robber. And you come and you're reincarnated into this known skunt that is indicted and soon to be extradited. Yes, reincarnation. It can't get better than this, Azruddin Mohammed. Now, did we get the cows out of the way? Are we okay? I want to know so I can move on. I want to move on. All right, I can't spend my days lamenting over dead issues. Can we just move on from the cows? I understand you are a Muslim. Muslims eat beef. But the whole conspiracy, the fake news, the lies about cows dying, now 15 according to Campbell and whoever else. Can we move on that is all fake? It's lies to make Mustafa looks bad. It's lies to tie President Irfan Ali with some smuggling of cows and crime against animals. Let us deal with crime against humans. All right? The cows are okay. They're comfortable. They're in acres and acres of state land, breathing, feeding. The cows are fine. Dismiss the fake news. No cows in dying, no cows aren't sick. The head of the department that deals with agriculture in that respect is a doctor. If you can't trust your doctors, come on, you're going to trust a scunt hole like Azruddin? Trust your doctors. Trust the science. Your doctor said the cows are fine. No disease, no viruses, no contamination. The cows are fine. When the cows give birth to their calves and the calves grow to become bull, and they slaughter these bull and they sell the meat on the streets or wherever, you can eat the meat. There's no contamination. The government has said that. You voted for Irfan Ali because you trust Irfan Ali. You told Azruddin Mohammed he must, what the Guyana say? What they say in the street? Rake your skunt. You told Azruddin, rake your skunt. So he raked his skunt and took Norton's place. Let him keep his rake skunt and stand with your blessed president. Okay? Now, as a lot of you might have seen, Azruddin Mohammed has confessed. He has confessed. You see, I'm a body language expert. I can read body languages. I can sense from the tone of your voice, looking at your eye movement, your facial expression, your entire body language to tell if you are innocent or guilty. And I have observed, I took the pain to listen to first part after somebody sent it to me. Thank you to the people who send me these things. Sometimes I need to be depressed. You know, when your day is going well, then somebody send you an app or forward some post with Azruddin Mohammed, and I see, okay, fine. I realize my day is going fine and somebody wants to piss me off today. Let me see why they're pissing me off today. And I checked and I saw why they're pissing me off today. And then I welcomed it. I'm like, this is a good piss off. Here we have the opposition leader, the accidental minister of floods and lies and corruption and the dead is confessing to multiple crimes. Multiple crimes. You see, you have to read between the lines. You have to observe the man's body language. When he speaks, where he pauses, where he takes a deep breath. That's the point you need to focus on. And as he was saying, 3 days ago, let me fill that block in. I'm going to fill in that block. According to Azruddin Mohammed, 3 days ago, he was still a scunt hole. He was still indicted. He was still a jumbie, an old hag, a blood-sucking vampire, a liar, a cheat, a scam artist, a racist, a bigot, a divider, an accuser of the brethren, a liar on the president. 3 days ago, Azruddin, you were still all of that, including an accused murderer for multiple murders 3 days ago. So since you are punctuating your former security guard, who was not just a low-level security guard, this guy was an active runner for you. He did what you call damage control. And you decide to take him off active duty after the Paper Shorts murder. When you realize that this thing gonna go away, that Caesar, the man you allegedly bribed 20 million, 30 million Guyana dollars to kill the case, you realize that Caesar is not going to be in his position forever. Somebody will come and say, hey, These evidence show that something is wrong with this case. And Caesar would not have the power to oversee that department, that particular incident. Whoever else comes, you got to stump up another 30 million to quiet them. So you decided to take your security guard / bodyguard off active duty. Keep him home on reserve, on salary. He's like, you know what? Stay home. You'll keep getting your salary, but stay home. I don't want you to be seen with me or for it to be perceived that we are still in contact, because it doesn't seem like this thing is going to die down. So whatever happened, and Azruddin, you did not pay the so-called police security guard person. Around the same time, they made a confession, a video confession, which the internet would never delete. You can't get it off the internet, Azruddin. All the confession this particular person made that is in police custody, you can't get rid of it. You should have paid him 30 million like you paid Caesar, allegedly. And still, as you said, Azruddin, God don't sleep. You may not fear man, referring to Irfan Ali, but you fear God. I don't think you understood the statement. The fear of God is the beginning of what? Knowledge. The fear of God is the beginning of knowledge. So if you fear God, Azruddin, then you should confess to the knowledge of having a hand or the key contributor to the murder, the brutal execution style murder of your opponent. Not Roger Khan, Paper Shorts. You should have the knowledge and stop appearing to be ignorant if you fear God. But since you don't fear God and you fear this man, the prince, you're tying the Paper Shorts investigation to you talking about some fucking farm that everybody knows existed. Your revelation of a farm just to tell us, the country, that our president is in debt. He owes a lot of money. They accuse me of owing people in Guyana, but yet they can't find one person that I allegedly owed, or ever owed. Not one. I dare you. Find one person in Guyana that I borrowed money from directly. Say, hey, can you lend me whatever? Find one. But the president, thanks to Irfan Ali, owes a lot of people. Because banks are not just institutions, they're people. Thank you, Azruddin. Now we are going to pay our taxes so that the government can earn money and the country's treasury can build and build and build. And then the president can have a raise in his salary, an increase, to help him to pay his loans. So thank you. However, you think because you are the last to talk about a farm that existed since 2009, 2008, way before Ali even thought of getting into becoming a minister. The man started 5 chickens and 2 ducks, 1 sheep, like 20 years ago. He was practically 20 years old, a little older. But thank you for the revelation. You think because of that, the murder of Paper Shorts has resurrected Azruddin Mohammed. Might I remind you, and your gang of thugs, on my podcast, on my broadcast, on my platform, before the elections, before you were indicted, I was talking and calling for justice for paper shorts. Late in 2024, throughout 2025, where nobody else was talking about paper shorts, I was calling for justice on my platform for paper shorts. You weren't close to politics. You had no interest in politics, Azruddin. I was calling for justice for paper shorts. Because I know there are many, many videos, confessions relating to your involvement, your sponsoring in numerous assassinations, some successful and some unsuccessful. The ones that were successful includes paper shorts. And quite frankly, if the government should follow the money trail, George Bacchus, Rondell Waddle, and all these other people who were allegedly murdered by the Phantom Squad, it would lead right back to you. It would lead right back to you, Azruddin. Don't push it. Because most of the persons who were operatives in the Phantom Squad, they have said, and their statements are all over social media, they have said, you were one of the persons who controlled the Phantom Squad. Not Roger Khan, you, Azruddin, because your your security guy, in the video that is shared, he said you were on your computer, your laptop. To him, it was a laptop. But that was the same device they were saying that Roger Khan imported to track calls, to track people's location, to track this and track that. Same device. How did it end up with you? They accused Roger Khan, he was in prison at the time, right? They accused him via Gadraj and President Jagdeo then of securing all of these high-tech equipment to surveil people, to hack people's calls, to check people, to find people's location. They were accusing Roger Khan for that. How is it that you ended up with that laptop? It looks like a laptop. Your security guard was that dumb, he didn't realize what equipment you were dealing with, that you could put somebody's telephone number inside, and that equipment can tell you the person's exact location, where they were, if they're moving, based on the telephone number. You can't do that with a laptop. You can't. It's a special surveillance equipment that looks like a laptop. Your security that you are trying to get out of prison right now, that your lawyer is defending, that a high court refused to release from police custody. Him and the same car center to whom you recorded the man's son, claiming that, did we ever meet before? Why the fuck do you do that? In the first time you do this shit. Azruddin, why do you do that? Why? Do you think people are that gullible? Don't you think Guyanese know you by now? Every time you want to push some kind of propaganda, you think people come on their own accord. They come there just because of what? To say, okay, Azruddin, you can put me on camera, but before you film these people or before you record these people, you're telling us, or you're trying this case in the public's domain. Are you telling the public, which is the jury, this man just showed up at my house, just drove up at my house. I don't know this man. I never saw him before. He showed up at my massive property with 100 security guards and 1,000 cameras with some huge pit bulls. Just showed up. Pressed the buzzer in the gate. Who is it? X. What do you want? I want to speak to Azruddin. Okay, this is Azruddin. I'm coming. You walk to the gate. How can I help you? I want to confess something. The government is after me. President Irfan Ali is sending his people to take me. Okay, come inside. What do you want to tell me? I want to tell you something that I don't know you. I never met you before. This is the first time I'm seeing you, and I want you to take your phone and record what I'm going to say. Okay, let me repeat that on this recording. Do I know you? No. Have we met before? No. Good, go ahead, speak. Did you hear how that sounds? It really sounds stupid, right? If you have to believe what Azruddin told you people today or yesterday, that is how this thing went down. A man who says he's fearful of his life. He has no firearm because the government took all of it. The government took all of his firearm and gave it to Amir Ahmad from the sheriff security, the sheriff group. All of Azruddin's weapons went to Amir Ahmad and his spade. So now he can't get his worker to turn, to turn the cement because his guns and his spade went to Ahmad, to Amir, sheriff. All of that, and Azruddin is going to invite a total stranger at night into his mansion with himself and his family, girl children. That's what Azruddin wants you to believe happened. Unfortunately, you are not that gullible. So of course you didn't believe it. Of course, he's clinging to a straw. Of course, the fact that his security guard is in police custody and the father of this man in police custody, helping with the case. Azruddin is now, wow, the reality is shit. This is actually going to happen. He now has to face the reality that this is going to happen. This ain't no hearsay. This ain't no political witch hunt. This is a murder case. And he is directly tied. The key players in this case are in police custody. They have no access to Azruddin, no access to nobody who can buy anybody. They are in total isolation, under investigation, helping to answer questions and to provide evidence and telling the police from beginning to end. This is why Azruddin is shitting, literally shitting. I'll use a decent word. He now has the American diarrhea disease. In America, there's a thing going around now of diarrhea. Well, Azruddin caught that. It flew from America and it contaminated him. He's pooping nonstop because he saw his ass is already giving him the signal. You better start exercising. You better start lubricating naturally. And the only way to lubricate naturally through your ass is diarrhea. Because it is coming. The days are counting down. We ain't waiting on the CCJ anymore. This is a murder case. So the buggering is going to start from Camp Street and is going to escalate in federal prison. So now his ass is on fire. Now he decides, when all the time he's running around, oh, Sonia Parad, Susan Rodriguez, One Edgel, who else? Barajagdio, Irfan Ali, Zulkar Mustafa, when he finished attacking these people, deflecting and deflecting and distractions and distraction, it ain't going away. It's like the Epstein files. It ain't going away. He had to come and confront the inevitable that he will go to prison for murder. And on his video, nervous as hell. Nervous as hell. 3 days ago, my former security guard, that's your confession, Azruddin. You confessed the man was your personal associate. You confessed knowing about the chassis number that was filed off of a born vehicle. How do you know that? All the details of the case that most people don't even know, the cops themselves don't even know, you know. How did you come by that information, Azruddin? How? You confirmed a lot of the stuff your security guard shared by way of video in the past. Now you want to address and talk about your innocence after the walls are closing in. It's getting tighter in here. You need some air. Now you are screaming out, "Oh, I'm innocent." You are innocent of gold smuggling, drug smuggling, money laundering, gun smuggling, gang affiliation, terrorism affiliation, Maduro affiliation, Hamas affiliation, funding Hezbollah, wire transfer to Europe, crimes against the Middle East. You are innocent. Yet, a preliminary hearing was held in America, federal court, in your absence, and a grand jury was convinced that the American government has a tight case against you. A tight case, a valid case against you for 11 indictment counts of breaking the law. Yet you're innocent. They seized 3.5 million American dollars worth in gold, 2024. Yet you're innocent. And paper shorts murder, you're innocent. Everybody is guilty but you. Your security and your other people murder people just because some devil possessed them and tell them to go kill. They had no motivation, no reason to murder anybody. They just wake up one day, got a gun, and go shoot up on people. Just like that. They weren't paid. They weren't ordered. They just did it. That is what you want your following to believe? That all this killing was for nothing? Just because these niggas want to kill people, they kill people? There's something you need to understand about black men. I mean, the worst of the worst, the scums. They are brainless. Whatever comes out their mouth, that's all they have in their mouth. They don't think before they speak. They have no emotions to decide whether to do an act or whether not to do it. They just feel and they do. People like that, they don't have to know somebody they're going to kill. They don't have to have a personal issue with that person. As long as the price is right, you can get them and say, hey, go kill that person. They're going to ask you why. They don't have the capacity to reason because they have no soul. But what they do know, they don't want to die. They don't want to go to prison. That's the only consciousness they have. So they snitch. They snitch. Usually what happens when people hire them to do crime and they did the crime, the ones who hire them take them out because they realize that they can't be trusted. So Azruddin, what's happening to you right now is that you took them niggas for granted. You think they're going to hide your sins. They're going to die with your sins. The only way they could have died is if you had killed them. But since you used them to kill all the people and they're still alive to snitch on your ass, that's what's making you nervous. You're running on your little platform and showing off all your fake trophies, trying to put this pitiful face so that poor people can vote innocence for you. This time it's not going to work. This time they heard confessions. They heard you say, I did it. That's what they heard. They heard you say, it's supposed to go away. They heard you say, I would not have gotten into politics if the Americans didn't indict me. And I thought the government should have helped me. I only got into politics to save my ass from prison. That's what they heard, and they always keep hearing you say. Because this whole campaign, all these things you have about breaking news, oh, cows and pigs and sheep and goats and document and smelly smell and fucking whoever, it's a personal agenda to stay out of prison. Azruddin, everything you are doing is just to stay out of prison. There's no other reason. That's it. But you will, you shall, you must go to prison. Azruddin, you must. And one of these days, forget the CCJ, one of these days, the government, the police in Guyana, the ones you are now hating on, is going to come and arrest you at your mansion. Just you. Your father will wait extradition. They will arrest you for the murder of Paper Shorts with a mounting of evidence they have that you helped provide with your recent Facebook post. With that confession, they're going to take it with the many other confessions they have, the many other evidence they have secured, and they will come and arrest you. And this time it will not go before Judge Judy. It will not go before Judge Judy. Don't count on it. Don't count on bail. When they arrest you, hear what my thing is now. Anil Nandalal. When the police arrest, first charge, arrest, then charge, and put on remand Azruddin Mohammed, he is no longer opposition leader. He is no longer eligible to hold a seat in the parliament. From the time he goes and they arrest him, they should have an emergency parliament session to replace him as opposition leader. That should be stripped of him immediately. That's the legal part of it. The Speaker of the House must start the process because this is going to go through. Azruddin will be arrested for the murder of Paper Shorts. There's nothing he can do about it. The more propaganda he pushes is the more he is expressing his desperation and his guilt and crying out for the public to do something about it. Not this time, Azruddin, not this time. Nobody is going to go out and get shot for you. The people who are facing life in prison right now are black men because they took the order of you for your little blood money. Now they are facing life in prison because they did your bidding. And you think black people are going to come out and protest for you to stay out of prison? So you can go back and sleep on your golden mattress with your billions of US dollars underneath? Oh, it ain't gonna happen. No, it wouldn't. Your sister will have to sell her pussy to whoever, and still it wouldn't happen. Niggas are not gonna get shot for you again. And I want to urge you black people. A lot of you are a lot of scum. I want to urge you. You need to have some dignity. Stop allowing these rich people to use you to commit crime. Stop doing it, man. Have some fucking pride. If a rich man in Guyana wants to go murder somebody, let him go do it himself. Stop allowing these people for seeing you as a means to an end when it comes to criminal activities. Stop it. No black woman goes through 9 months of pain, discomfort, and then lay on that operating table to push out her child, her son. No father holds his son and says he hopes the boy grows up to become a killer. He hopes the boy grows up to assassinate people for the Mohammeds or some rich Indo-Guyanese. No parent. So think, nigga, think. Stop killing for people. Because their money might save them prison time. But you have nothing. You will go to prison. And in most cases, they will kill you before the police get you. Stop doing it. If you hate yourself so much, if you hate your black self so much, there is only one way you can punish yourself. As a black man with self-hatred, I have a recommendation for you. You want to punish yourself for hating yourself? Get a job. The only way you can punish yourself is getting a job. Go work 9 to 5. There is no greater self-hatred than keeping a job. 9 to 5. Get up early in the morning, go to a workplace, work until 3 or 4 o'clock, get back home every day for the rest of your life. That is the best way to hate yourself. Not going and doing crime, not killing people, not robbing from people, not behaving like smelly smells and thuggish and gangsterish and ghetto on the streets. That's not self-hatred. That is ghetto, nasty. You hate yourself, stay in school, get an education, and get a job. The greatest kind of hatred a black man can have for himself is getting a degree, getting a career. That is my recommendation to you. Take the hard way out if you hate yourself. The easy way is getting shot by the police. Going to prison is easy. Any nigger can do that. It ain't self-hatred. It's just being a lowlife. So, I thank you for your attention. And remember, Amazon.com, go to Google, type Amazon.com, Prince Ali and the President, and buy a copy of my books. There is 8 individual volumes there, 1 to 8. You can buy either of anyone, but you start with Prince Ali and the President, a personal account. Start with this one. Then you can work your way through the rest. Give yourself a gift. I appreciate that. And for those persons who want to support, like I said, you can support by subscribing to the channel. Or if you have some disposable income you would like to send to the Durga Foundation, you can do that by buying a book. Yeah, they're waiting to hear me say, oh, the Zella account. Them niggas from the PNC. Yeah, there he goes again with the Zella thing. You don't have Zella. You don't even know what it is. Don't criticize it, you don't have it. All the people who have Zella account, they send donations via Zella. You don't have it, so shut the fuck up. Google what it is before you criticize. Oh, he hates people, he hates black people. Fuck, I hate criminals and thugs and thieves and vagabonds. I love good people. I hate the bad ones. That's me. Anyway, share this live. I thank you for your attention. Until next time, goodbye.